We are back on Island's Eye. A little bit more Citizen Sleeper. Welcome back, everybody. Last episode was an exciting one. In more ways than one, we accidentally caused the demise of one person, saved possibly thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands of others by discovering Hardin was trying to do some sort of a strange forced takeover of Haven Age, e.g. the current kind of ruling class of the station. And we hopefully are now going to be getting a bit of payment back from Fang before we get killed. We also advance the emphasis plot a little bit, so with that, let's jump right back in. What do we have to do? We're still waiting for Fang to return. This tribe has been running forever, man, tell you what. Enter the Greenway. We still got to work on that guy. Flotilla Aid. That's an endgame one. I don't know if we're at endgame. If we disable our tracker and everything else goes away and we just kind of got to ride our cycles out till the end of time, we'll know we're at the endgame. I don't want to do gain Ethan's protection. I want to figure out something else. Getting Matsutake caps. I have no idea how to do that. I think it was something on the other side. We are... Are we really out of 2 when you're at flickering? That seems unfair. Improve the overlook. Now we're just waiting on the bar owner. We're not going to do side rail ticket. And we're still working for Rabia, but we actually met with Sabine last episode, which was an interesting turn of events. So, I'm surprised we didn't sleep last time. I was probably just a bit overwhelmed. You know what? Let's start the episode right. Let's feed the cat. I feel good about that, even though I know it's that doesn't do much for us. We should be okay on food. It's on the cycle. We can get some food from the Yadigan quests if we play our cards right, or our dice right, rather. Alright, we are starving. Okay, cool. So we still have 4 dice. 1 and a 2 is not great. I don't think we have any hacking missions right now. Music's going hard, as always. Alright. I don't think any of the... Yeah, we're still waiting on a lot of these cycles. Interesting. Fangs. That's interesting that that's a red one. That is very interesting. That usually denotes a negative outcome. Let's go and do some Yadigan stuff. Getting the energy would be good. We can do a 5 there. We can re-roll this 1 and 2 if we need to. Alright, that gets us a little bit of food. Flotilla Aid, we're not doing that. I think we gotta... It's like... Wait a minute. We have clear the aviary to grow mushrooms. And then we have... Find a nurturing grow bed for the seed. So we talk about tracking. I wonder if... Is that can't be the same thing, right? That'd be strange if that led us to the same place. One thing that was interesting, as I was starting this recording, I noticed that we are at cycle 36. So, Citizen Sleeper stance, if that means anything to you, you know how good or how bad we are. Plus 5 energy. That's kind of crazy, although that is kind of like a terrible thing to do. Barter for food. Yeah, we don't need to do that right now. The thing is with some of these decisions, right, it's like you want to roleplay and like try and stick to being one person or the other, but it doesn't seem like so far our actions have amounted to any sort of morality scale, if I'm being quite honest. That's the ship. Cool looking ship. Very homeworldy. The wastes. Nothing out there. We haven't really started anything on the commune. We got too many other things to work on, you know? Work the grow beds. That might actually be the one to do it, to be honest. If we do a 2 there. Yeah, it's just we got to get this other stuff done first. We got too many things. You know, we got too many things going on. This is a safe one. There's really no point. Like a 2, we have a pretty good chance of rerolling a 2. And it doesn't really make sense to do a risky one there. What else can we advance here? We can try and get the Rabia one. We're still waiting. I don't know where we're going to get this. Well, you know, to be honest, maybe it is time we do the... most of these ones are just waiting right now. We could try... Maybe it's worth just maxing out. Getting the Yatagan one done. Finishing up all our loose ends rather than spending our... or rather, spreading ourselves too thin. There's also this one up here, actually, now I think about it. If we go up... So there's two unexplored things. Weightless Wanderer. Both of these have to lead to new drives, right? But maybe we say we focus our efforts. Maybe we just completely throw that away and try to start 2 new ones. What do I got here? Nothing. Random items. We don't really need that. All right, so let's just go back to Rabia's office. Did we ever get anything out of this guy? Action unavailable. A vial of stabilizer. Interesting. Yeah, not too much for us to hack right now. Anything else? Any other drives? I don't think so that we're missing. It would be nice if you could see pending ones from the outside so you know, rather than having to click in. Let's do another 5. We'll do scrap components, right? We don't need the energy necessarily, I guess. Yeah, to get insider. All right, let's re-roll these. A 4 and a 5. We could just... Nah, that doesn't feel like... I want to see something else. Let's, I feel like the Haifa commune might be important. Ugh. And I feel like there is something that we are missing. I feel like we can't accomplish one of these things. Or actually, now I say that, let's actually do the aviary, because we already started on that. And that one I feel like we do need. So let's do that. Give me a 3. Give me a hard 3. Thank you. Give me another 3. You know you wanna. I'll take a 2. All right. Now this should be an interesting cycle. I'm very curious to see how this Fang story wraps up here. Actually, getting scrap components is good because we can keep our condition up without having to go back. Although it does suck when I probably should have kept track of when exactly we go below flickering. But I did not. All right. Let's see what we have here. Fang's Bay. And look at that. He's back at his old place. Fang grins at you as the bay door slides open. Above, in the rest of the building, Above in the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones and organize endless meeting after endless meeting. Haven Age have a full-blown crisis for now. Have avoided a full-blown crisis for now. Man, I just murdered that paragraph. But change is coming. Okay, so we ended up actually being a good one to pursue. We saved the station. Fang is in good spirits and bundles you inside before you even have the chance to greet him. This was the slickest operation this station has seen. He hugs you firmly. You made my job easy. He shakes you by the shoulders. I'm so proud. And, he smiles, I got to watch through the cameras as the Haven Age security that weren't in on it assaulted the station. Fang smiled. One of them just straight up whacked Hardin with their pistol. It was beautiful. They have him. He's being held, yeah. He looks around. I think the idea is to use him as leverage with Conway, get them to back off. Maybe they'll exile him when they are done or hand him over to some core authority. Fang shrugs. Now I know it won't be an issue. I'm going to be focusing on systems for a bit. He shakes his head, seeing as that's my actual job. What about your promise here, Bucky boy? He points to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy, though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. That's right, we did broadcast that out like a frickin' beam across the station. Is it true? Fang looks at you directly. Not if we don't want it to be. He touches an old stack of hardware. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Arlen and Haven Age installed. They keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you were asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no. He smiles. And me and a ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it happening in the cycle after that. Interesting. It's kind of an old station that they're just keeping alive because so many people have built their lives here. Very curious. Hardin's problem was that he didn't believe in people. He believed in systems and their ability to shape the world around them. Fang squeezes your shoulder. But as far as I am concerned, people should be the ones running the systems, not the other way around. They say the purpose of a system is what it does. I wonder if there was a way for you to like team up with Hardin and like get like the ultimate worst ending. That'd be crazy. Anyway, Fang raps on my shoulder, the side of his terminal. I know you didn't come down here for a lecture. My tracker. Yeah, that's why I've been doing this all along. I haven't forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. I managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified Ripper worm, one made to deactivate that tracker of yours. But in the time since I got back, I added something extra. That tracker of yours doesn't just show SNARP where you are. It transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. Okay. My worm won't just deactivate it. It'll edit that data to tell the SNARP your body is irreparably damaged. DNR. Do not retrieve. He grins widely. Pretty smart, right? That is perfect. Just slot it already. You take the drive and hold it in your hand. Then you close your eyes and open up your access ports. Take down your defenses. Interesting. So we just jump right in. The worm immediately enters your closed network and whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they are gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. It whips you, taking things with it as it goes. Okay. A second later, it is done. You open your eyes. How do you feel? Asks Fang, a little nervously. We'll say free. Fang smiles widely. Well, you are a free sleeper. He claps you on the shoulder. Fang lets the word free hang in the air a little before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. Fang wraps his arm around you. Jenna still owes us those drinks. He laughs and you join him, and later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. As you walk away from the building, you look up at the wide curve of the eye, up at the hub, and the other room beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with lights, and it seems impossible to see as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels, in that moment, like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can, or even should, last forever, or that it will never change, fade or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place has a future, and is one that you know, deeply and truly, is worth protecting. Yo, that was sick. We actually okay, that makes up for the terrible decision we made last time with Ankita. I still wish we would have taken those caps after all that BS. All right, well, that was a big one, man. That one's been active for, God, almost the entire game. Feels good to get that monkey off our back. And now, look at that. We don't even have to get Ethan's protection. Ethan is gone. You try to put him out of your mind, but some days that is a hard thing to do. Screw that guy. He tried to abuse us and then tried to kill us. All right, we got an upgrade point. Obsessive Haggler kind of seems good. We might get that one next and then go for the +2s. I'm not crazy about letting our dice get super low. When money is just the way to get stabilizer. All right, that was a big one. Now it's interesting, right? Complete active scenes. Interesting. Okay, so now it's gone. When we just clicked on it there, we don't have to worry about Maywick anymore. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see, maybe it's just, okay, clicking on it there got rid of it too. Now that's interesting. Why is it not letting us just fall asleep? It says there are active scenes to complete. Very interesting, very interesting. All right, well, let's let's keep doing our work on the yacht again. I feel like we've crossed a big threshold. Getting rid of our tracker and being truly free feels like at least part of the way to a good ending. Alright, so we'll just continue to do this. We need to do this anyways, and it gets us energy, which is nice. It could have been a little bit better. How did we only get one? Yeah, again, on an insider. And then we'll do the same here. Get some scrap components. And let's just do this. That should get us. Let's just clean this guy up. Very good. Oh, a little bit of energy too, so now we're maxed out on energy, and we've learned about the yacht again. This time you meet inside Rabia's office, although now that you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that the most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabia turns to greet you, you realize she is missing an arm. Oh, you know what? I never noticed that before, but you can totally see it in the art. She's just got a cybernetic arm there, and it's like wrapped in some sort of a plastic or protective coating. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running into it. Updates, she says, noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Of course. Sit, says Rabia, gesturing to the 2 diminutive stools. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight-backed. Gia told me you had been doing the rounds, collecting tithes, patrolling the ward, she smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed. And I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I'm going to say I wanted to see for myself. She raises an eyebrow. See for what for yourself? Let's see if the stories are true. I don't want to see. I see. Rabia flexes her neck side to side. And the conclusion? I'm going to be ambivalent. Still deciding. Well, sleeper, Rabia says teasingly. Please keep us updated on any progress. She smiles a thin smile. Joking aside, I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle, but I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it this way, I know you two are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That is why you have come to us. Oh, I can't even remember if we've seen Sabine before. If we have, it has been such a long time that I don't remember what her thing looks like at all. Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I am tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. I don't see a baton in their hand, but... Rabia looks between the two of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you two. She looks strangely unfazed. I'm going to stay silent. Sabine paused, thrown off by your silence. Oh, man. Rabia takes this opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inwards. She is by far the stronger and pushes Sabine to their knees, plunging the cracking end of the baton towards their chest. They freeze here, Sabine struggling to keep this crackling baton from their skin. Yeah, I'm definitely going to yell stop. Then you support them, Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. Your loyalties are so easily swayed. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia, Sabine spits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she is out to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. I'm going to say, Rabia, explain. They both look at you, each still catching their breath, as if they had forgotten about your presence. Explain what? How the moment I call my enforcers will come down here and take them away? Interesting. This time it's not me. This time it's the game's writing. Rabia cracks her neck. You are lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right to. Every right, she shouts, the anger of a release of tension more than a threat. Sabine's lifts themselves a little, bruised from the fall, and they roll into their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space, sitting back on the stool. Sabine props themselves up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say, Rabia taunts. Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, she laughs. No coming back. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She refuses to listen to criticism of the great Yadigan project. Rabia collects herself. Speak. She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching, but she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them. At least for now. When I came here from SNARP, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive. And afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper. They take a breath. I know I should have told you I worked for SNARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me. You are my final friend. I don't know if we're actually friends. What you should know is that I left SNARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. Okay. You probably should have told us that from the start, and if that's true, that puts me on your side. SNARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect themselves. What does that have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. The Sleeper knows you're SNARP, I told them. And while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It is true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head. But it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of SNARP. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rabia slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake. In exchange for those... Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He has been using Yadigan enforcers, using you as test subjects for SNARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He has been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabia's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I have tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabia through the manifest and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye and something passes between you, something like a thank you or a sorry or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. All right. There we go. Didn't mean to Matthew McConaughey that one, but 2 drives done. 2 big drives done. Okay, I'm glad I was a little turned off by doing this. What a planning, very interesting. Yeah, I was a little turned off because I didn't want to get caught up with the gang, but once again, it seems like just finishing these seems to have a pretty good benefit. Yeah, let's do Obsessive Haggler. Should make... I think it should also make buying Stabilizer cheaper, so maybe we have 2 things now. Ooh. Oh, that's what they were talking about. So here's Ethan, okay. Okay, this explains why we couldn't go to sleep now. The compressor is almost empty when you enter. A couple of scattered patrons in the booths and a lone bartender. The bartender recognizes you immediately when you arrive and nods. You return the greeting. You already know that you won't find Ethan here, but you had to be sure. With a tracker reporting you dead, he wouldn't have stuck around. You look at the empty stool, his empty stool, and you smile. You can imagine him on it when his slate chirps, letting him know that the target he was tracking is dead. You can imagine the screaming and swearing too. Yes, screw that guy, dude. Is that all you were to Ethan? Another target? Or was there something else going on? It seems like a foolish question asked now, when he has fled the station, but it bothers you anyway. You take one last look and walk out. You doubt you'll ever come back to this place or the memory it holds. You walk back out of the lights of the bright market and allow yourself a smile. So this is what Fang meant when he said you were free. You could get used to this. Look at that. Little old sleeper in a big new world. Alright. Let's see if we can re-roll this too. Okay, we roll it right into it too. Alright. Let's throw it on that safe at the aviary. We're feeling pretty good. I mean, gosh, it feels so nice to have so many of these things cleaned up. Truly. Truly it does. Now I feel like we really ought to start working on the Haifa stuff, whatever that is. Ooh, 3 off of a 2. You love to see it. Very good. Let us head back. We got plenty of energy. Don't really need money for right now. The real question is, how much is stabilizer? Now it's only 64. And each scrap... How much can we sell scrap for? That's the real question, is if we sell this, because each one of these, let's say it's 10. Let's say they sell for 10 each. That means by using one, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so yeah, 6 bars, essentially. 6 bars. Is it worth selling, or do we use them on ourselves? Each one, if we say it's 10 to 15 credits. The longer we wait on these, the more valuable stabilizer is for us. I'm conflicted. I don't know. Let me see if there's somewhere else we can sell these. Can we sell these over here? Buy shipmine core. Export Matsuka. No, we need to figure out where to buy those frickin' things. Freight operator. That's just some random stuff. I don't think there was anywhere for us to get. To sell scrap. Now that's interesting. I wonder if that's just because we didn't finish up, or if there is something that happens if we do one more hack. Maybe we'll do one more hack next time. We can sell that Yadigan data, to be honest. Although keeping the 5 is good if we want to figure out. So yeah, maybe we'll hack another Yadigan next time. Get that one next turn. That should be another drive completed. I am so conflicted. I just don't want to go down to 3 dice. Don't want to go down to 3 dice. I feel like selling the scrap, because we can't combine the scrap to get a ship mine right now. We can only do ship mine fragments, which we don't need anymore. We'll sell 1. See how much it sells for, so we get an idea. Plus 12. Okay. We'll leave it there and see what happens next time. Hopefully we stay slow. I have a feeling we're going to drop low flickering here, which is going to be not the biggest bueno, but it will be what it is. All right. Let's end the cycle and see what happens. Yep. Okay, so we are at the 3. Bummer. Feeding the cat's cheaper now. All right, so we should get we're going to get like a lot out of that. Self-repair. So yeah, it would take us 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we should just get the stabilizer. Do we have a stabilizer? No. Oh, we still got one more on the bar. Yeah. We'll buy a stabilizer this time. I am curious. So there's nothing up here. Maybe it's just a misnomer then. Is there anything left to hack? Yadigan agent, I guess. We'll send. I think it's just kind of stuck, right? I don't see any. Doesn't look like there's anything we can hack. So maybe that's just the way it is. Or maybe there's something when we do more of the hub. Either way. These aren't great overall. I kind of want to reroll all of them. Let's just run it. Ooh, that felt good. All right. Oh, we don't have too much to do. It feels crazy. We're still waiting on improving the overlook. Really, it's just this aviary, the seed, and the mushroom grows. All right, let's do this. Forage for fungus. Ghariol caps and 2 growth spores. I don't know what the growth spores necessarily do. Let's go to the Hydra communes. What can we get here? Just Hypha member. They're both safe. One's endure, one's engage. Sure. We'll work both, see if we get anything from either. Plus an energy, that's nice. And this one... same thing. Alright. Get a little bit of food back. New drive discovered. Okay. What is that? Join the Hypha commune. Okay. The Hypha commune meets the needs of its members in exchange for work. Could you find a home here? Interesting. We'll drop this here. Ooh, I didn't realize that we were going to get that. Okay, alright. Man, everything's coming together. Germinate spores. Input. Okay, so now we need growth spores. Alright. Well, we do know where to get those. Let's buy our stabilizer, stay topped up. Seems like it's really the only purpose for the money right now. And it seems, I don't know if it's really, I don't know if like keeping, you know, I'm trying to stay as low cycle as possible. I don't know if that's necessarily the best way to play it, but 2 dice is like, that adds up to a lot. We probably could have waited another day, but I'm impatient. Just want to get it done. All right, let's end the cycle. Now the bar should be ready. All right. Not bad. A couple of 5s. All right, let's see what this was all about. Tala comes to you one shift when the bar is empty. Tapping you on the shoulder as you clean the bar. That's, we're still working there. It's ready. She is green. Oh, that's right. She was getting the grills. Maybe we get spores from her. She is grinning from ear to ear. The girl, obviously, she grabs you by the arm before you can ask anything else and drags you into the back room. The smell hits you immediately when you enter, a cocktail of rich fermentation and chemical sharpness. The room is warm and bright now, the newly installed lights making the place so clean, whether it is or not. Tala has already pulled up a couple of stools around a metal crate, where 2 glasses with a few fingers of pale Ghariol, however you say it. Inside sit waiting. She smiles. Haven't even tried it yet. You can see she is nervous. You both sit at the makeshift table, the slight strangeness of the situation making you both jumpy. Tala hands you a glass. Cheers, she says solemnly, and knocks the glass back. You do the same. The first sensation is a sharp, nose-clearing blast of alcohol that has your frame querying whether you would like to activate safe mode. You gulp the drink back, and it is only then, behind the burn, you taste the earthy tones of the mushrooms, the wood and the soil, left behind like sediment. Barely there. I'm gonna say not bad, actually. Tala raises an eyebrow. You sure? Maybe needs diluting. Tala swills the girl in her glass. That might work. Open it up a bit. Tala grabs a metal bottle from the newly installed work surface and adds a few drops of water into the girl. Try again? Dude, we're gonna get smashed. This time the burn is a warming glow, harsh but fading off, and the woodiness is less heavy. You taste something floral among the marshy decay, something fresh and bright that you never expected to find. Both you and Tala meet eyes. It's really good, right? It is. Tala grins with her whole face, and that makes you smile too. Tala, oh god. Tala pours out some more gruel, and then adds some more water. The action is already taking on the quality of a ritual. You both drink. Tala tucks her feet up beneath her on the stool, folding her legs. She looks down into her glass and swirls the liquid thoughtfully. What's on your mind? Tala looks up at nothing in particular. My father opened this place up, you know, she says out of nowhere, thoughts suddenly becoming words. It was his attempt at making a life for us, for my family, when we got to the eye. Your family? My father, my mother, my little brother. She takes a drink. They aren't around now. I'm sorry. That's okay. My parents had long lives, and my brother is somewhere in the starboard belt. Ran off with the salvage crew. She puts her glass down. He's alive as far as I know. I was just thinking about something my father told me. When he first set this place up, he wanted to call it the Bantian. But he was afraid it'd scare off the customers, so he kind of translated it. Hence, the Overlook. In these past few cycles, when I've been in here, I've been thinking that I should rename the place. She looks at you. The Bantian. What do you think? Say, what does it mean? Dad said it translated to Overlook, so something like that. Watchtower, maybe. Lookout. Tala picks up her glass. That settles it then. To the Bantian. You both clean glasses and drink up. Tala hisses through her teeth. Still harsh. She laughs, then suddenly grabs your shoulder. Oh, sleeper. I totally forgot. She stumbles to her feet. She lurches over to a corner of the room covered with a plastic sheet and whips it off like a magician performing a trick. Beneath it is a little kitchen, a sink, a work surface, and a compact oven with a hob. It's a hob. Your kitchen. She doesn't give you time to respond. You can come here and make stuff anytime, as long as you promise not to raid the mushroom farm. I need those for the girl. I was thinking, too, that if things pick up, we can start serving proper food at the the Bantian. She laughs. Do you like it? It's perfect. That's 2 people we've told us perfect today. That feels pretty good. Tala gives you a hug, then quickly stands back. I'm sorry. I'm so glad you're here. She grins. I say me too. As Tala tidies away the glasses, you inspect the kitchen, checking that it all works. It's small and salvaged, but after what you've had to put up with, it feels like a dream come true. Later, when she's done for the day, Tala comes back to the bar and you share a glass of good girl, one she didn't distill. And this time you talk about nothing in particular, sharing stories about regulars or discussing the best place to eat on the eye, which, after everything that has happened, feels like a nice change of pace. When it comes time to leave, you promise to cook for Tala and agree to let her know which shift you'll be working in the coming cycles, and then slip out into the cool of the rotunda. And in this moment, you feel, for once, at home. Well, isn't that nice? Help a friend distill their future. Love that free spirit. That's great. Well, I feel like we've done... Man, we've really found our place. We've deactivated our tracker. We have a kitchen. The Bantian now exists. Alright, so we can cook these different caps. But it doesn't show us what it gives us, which is interesting. We can still work the bar. It's not called the Bantian. Tala's bar. Alright. Man, we're getting nice and low on the stuff we need to do. I think we have to do... I think the commune and that thing up there are really the only things left. Let's go back to the aviary. Oh, you actually... Yeah, because we need to get some girl caps. And now, we're getting pretty close to getting +2. I almost want to get hard to kill just to see if there's like an achievement for it. I'll have to look. I'm not sure which one of these is even useful to turn into a +2, I'll be honest. But we're never going to use that one unless we want to get it to +2. So the aviary, we need Grove Spores. Okay. Farm stacks. Barter for food. So where was the one where we could get mushrooms? Mushroom groves, I guess. Alright, so let's drop a 5 in here. Grill caps. Oh, grove spores. Duh. I can't read. Very good. That's what we wanted. We wanted the spores, not the caps. Okay, now we go back to the aviary. Look at all these items we got. We'll drop one in. Fungal beds. Drop another one in. And let's, here's the question. Losing 2 energy, not the end of the world. Neutral, maybe we just get 1. Perfect. That's all we needed. That's all we needed. Let's go back. Click on the wrong thing. And let's seed this bed. You extract the spores from the sample, print, and mix them with water, then inject them into the prepared mulch. It is precise work. Very good. Alright. Gotta wait a couple of 4 cycles, actually. Maybe then we can plant in here. Man, we really don't have much else than, just the Haifa commune. So what did they need? They needed germinate spores and let them grow. Bring mushrooms to the briar. I wonder if grill caps count. I'm gonna take a quick look, right? There's no penalty for peeking in there. 2 grill caps. That's actually what we needed. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Let's, nope. We want to go back to the Haifa commune, and we really should start on... Am I losing my mind? I am losing my mind. That's a 4... It's a 50-50 shot for it to go up or down. The 1, let's just reroll them both. Nope, that's about what I expect. I don't think there was a crazy difference. I think they both gave us energy, if I'm not mistaken. This one's engage, one is endure. Yep, 3 and 2. And what could negative be? Let's find out. Nothing. Thrill seeker. Okay. All right. Very good. We are getting deep into Citizen Sleeper. Would be good if any of those gave us some money, but we really don't need to start earning until, oh, we have that one coming up next here, too. It's just heater after heater of drives cleaning up. It feels good. All right. Not the greatest rolls, but we can re-roll the ones that we need to. Let's see what's going on with Yadigan. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You push open the door. Sleeper. What good timing. Rabia calls out to you as you enter. I wanted to introduce you to someone. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Looks like Leroy from, I guess Leroy has dreads from Tekken. Tekken 8. Sleeper, he nods. Been hearing good things from Robbie. He smiles an easy smile. Good to meet you. Likewise, likewise. He waves a ringed hand. Now, Robbie, where were we? He's the Yadigan Elder. Actually, Rabia places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the Spock side. We have more than enough to run our territories. Ere the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Robbie. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabia smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprising light step closer to you. You go to work, sleeper? What kind of work? A question. Yannick lowers his head and raises it again, as if you dropped something. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at you. You don't follow. What is he saying? That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward, anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it is so fast you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with their work, Jan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Robbie, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she is deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. That was very weird. Very, very weird. Yannick's ward. That's very strange. Part of me feels like they're setting you up to figure, like, to get deep into, like, as a Yannick spy, which is kind of also strange for us to be spying on, like, inter-gang activities. But it's another drive, and every drive so far has been good to complete. Although it is, I'm curious if Sabine will pop back up and kind of explain what's going on to us. All right, so that's another one. Let's get this Haifa commune thing going on. Feels like a waste to use a 6 on it, but I don't know what the negative was. Let's just run it. It's safe, right? There we go. Yep. You struggle to keep up with the demand, but another newcomer helps you along, and you both make it to the end of the service. Alright, so what's all this Haifa commune? Communist, noun. Someone who joins a commune. Alright, so now we're... Oh, gosh, now we're in a freaking cult. You head down into the Haifa compound, following a blue-painted line that is labeled laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with told you they asked to see you. You still have no idea what it's about. Rico, head of the Haifa botany. The line takes you to a blue door, and through to a glass-roofed chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow-green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing at a lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary, she smiles. Come, let's talk, she says and beckons you closer. What is this place? Here? These were processing centers for the agriculture of the old corporate station. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. What is Haifa? She looks surprised. You've been working in the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. She lifts a tiny sample jar, yellow spores dancing inside. Haifa lives off the land of the Greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here, we feed each other, we work for each other. Alright, it is a little communist cult. Rico walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth, is yours, Simba. Everything the light touches. It's kind of a miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to the plants on stations like this when they're abandoned? I say they die. Eventually, yes, they cannot live without an intervention. She leads you left at a crossroads, but here they endured. She smiles to herself. Actually, no, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they are taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station. Not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Arlen himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try to reclaim it. What does that mean? The collapse came, the Greenway should have gone. Arlen was so convinced that his first colony... Not even quite sure what that means. The Ion said relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agricultural systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. So they're saying when it collapsed, they didn't think to use the Greenway to regrow and to, like, live sustainably. And here we are among a growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves. Perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch. But we found a jungle. This Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge impossible chamber. It's every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It's wet too, rarity on the eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roof, gathers on the shiny broad leaves of the shrubs. How? That is exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. Doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system has stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap, who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. It's like she's talking about the place we can steal all the food from if we want. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us. Or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade and unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like your help to find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Me? Yes, you. Rico sits on a railing. These halls run deep, Sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway. Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the Greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for the expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but it won't get votes. You sleepers are hardly beings. Well now, that's a little offensive. Oh, hardy beings. I thought it said hardly beings. I was like, lady, come on, man. That's terrible. Okay. You sleepers are hardy beings. I know that much. And you can speak to the eye and cover its secrets in ways I never can. She holds out an arm so you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in my lab and study them better. The deeper they are found, the better. Yeah, why not? I'll try. Thank you. She smiles. Thank you for listening. Reiko leads you back out of the huge chamber and up through the passages. She's a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, Sleeper, she calls. There are discoveries to be made. And you follow the blue line back up out of the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible, magical green. Alright, well, that was less culty. It just seems like they're these kind of old chemist, botanist people living in this kind of greenway here on the station, just kind of subsisting off of it. That's not that creepy. At least not yet. Alright, so we got to collect spores for her. Alright, so, well, we've already used up our current set of spores, so now that's another one. Let's keep punching. 2 upgrade points now. How to use. Alright, well, I do know we gotta figure out what's going on here. It's like one of the only ones left. The hub is thronging with spacers from across the surrogate systems. They can be a prickly bunch, but they know the place well. Okay, yeah, let's see what's going on here. Wayless Wanderer. Somehow you end up on a fraction drive freighter for a long-awaited reunion between 2 spacer crews. Their knowledge is invaluable. Let's run it again. So it somehow happened one more time. Let's reroll the dice. Let's get it. I probably should have done the other one, but oh well. Alright. We somehow met up between 3 reunions. Ah, look at this. Another person. Bliss. Ship mechanic on the hut. We've met so many new people this episode. No way, Moritz. You take those substandard filters back to the shit heels who sold you them. You hear the voice echoing out of the bay as you pass. And moments later, Someone who you assume is Moritz drifts out with it, dragging a pallet of filter cartridges by a tether. Hey, you there. The same voice echoes out of the entrance. Looking for work? Who, me? Everyone on the station is looking for work. Get in here. The voice is coming from someone shorter than you expected. She is floating in the microgravity of the docking bay, beside a half-deconstructed life support unit that looks like it may have exploded at some point. She points a wrench in your direction. You know anything about these things? She doesn't wait for an answer. Scratch that. Just help me get with the casing. All right. Help her. All right, then. She definitely moves around the unit, making space for you besides the central seam in the dented case. Just take a grip here and lift up, and then I can get up in and unbolt it. She whacks the unit with the wrench. The whole thing is twisted as shit. So she's a mechanic on the hub. Okay, she's working on the hub, not necessarily the station like Fang was. You dig your fingers under the casing and lift away, the metal squealing from the force. She puts her hands under, spinning the wrench to slip out the bolts, catching them in her other hand when they spiral free. All good. The casing lifts off, revealing the ornate piping of the unit's interior. She whistles at the mess of ducts and filters. By the way, everyone calls me Bliss. She pats you on the shoulder, offering little in way of explanation. What do you do here? Repairs, fit-ups, teardowns. Bliss starts pushing and pulling at the ductwork, looking for fractured pipes. We haggle for contracts, but the good ones get snapped up quickly by the bigger bays. So here I am, trying to get this M2 unit running again for one of the freelance tugs. Small-time stuff. Hold this. She rips out a ribbed pipe and hands it to you like a freshly caught fish. We turn stuff around fast and neat, and maybe we get a chance at landing something bigger. Something starts hissing within the unit, and Bliss quietens it. Why can't I say that? Bliss quietens it with a precise whack. But to be honest with you, the way things are going, I can already see the other crews licking their lips, ready to take this place over. She looks up at you. I'm almost out of luck. What happened? Long story. Some people just can't keep promises. She keeps working, twisting aside pipes with care. There we are. Bliss pulls her hand out from deep inside the unit and it comes out, clutching a lumpen cube, scorched black. This thing must have overloaded and popped half of itself out the side. You both duck down to the side of the unit and spot the exit wound, its edges fringed with more scorch marks. Grab me a replacement converter from the racks, will you? Head to the rack. You kick off from the unit and drift over to the wall racks, where a catalog of parts sit secured in clamps. Colored tape and scrawled notes flutter across the wall. A complex organizational system of Bliss's own design. Or just a big mess. You try to pick out the right part. A replacement converter. And she said it was an M2 converter, right? You grab the part and push it back to the unit. Bliss holds out an arm and you pass it over, the converter spinning gently as it leaves your hand. Perfect. You passed. She straightens up from the unit. That is, if you want to work here. Bliss rubs her hands clean, looking down at her palms. Truth is, I need a hand here. My partner skipped out on me and left me with a whole mess. You seem like you might at least be better at spotting a clean air filter than Moritz. I'd be happy to. Wait. She frowns at the racks. That's not all of it. My old business partner, they rinsed the place, emptied the accounts. To bid for jobs, we need to put down deposits, bring in parts, pay tug fees. For that, she looks nervous, embarrassed. We need chits. You want me to pay to work? Come on, it's not like that. We'd be partners. Straight split. Bliss settles herself against the unit and looks off into the distance. Guess I look pretty stupid. Here I am asking any random passerby to be my business partner. No offense. She manages to smile. That is pretty weird. She gives you a sideways look. Don't tease me. Bliss goes back to working on the unit. Look, it's no pressure. You find the money, or you find someone who has, or you just forget the whole thing. Up to you. She gestures for you to help her refit the casing, and you both slide it back into place. I think I'm good to wrap this one up for now. But if you are into it, come back and we can bid on a new contract. Something to get our teeth into. Something that pays. She gives you a serious look. You can trust me. I don't say this stuff lightly. You kick away from the bay, propelling yourself into the handholds at the entrance. You slip out with a wave, and as you do, someone slips back in. You hear bliss as you glide down the passageway. Moritz, I swear to God, if those filters aren't clean. You smile. Seems like this could be interesting. Yeah, it does. So is there anything else to do at this lounge? Nope, just buy a meal. Oh, okay. So there's like a whole bunch of different places we can sleep now. What the heck? The only place to sleep on the hub. Hacked off a colony ship and welded to the ring. They are surprisingly expensive to rent. Interesting. That seems like something you gotta do once. Seed money. A scammer opportunity. Oh my gosh, she needs 80 credits. Bliss seems solid enough, and this might be your best chance to get in on the hub's repair trade. Well, that definitely seems like we would need to make some money, and that's fighting us with our stabilizer needs. So that's a bit of a tough sell. Aviary's still going. So we gonna sleep here now? Yeah. I like our place that we built on the other side. The waste. Anything left here in the wastes? Nope, just getting some scrap. And then this is like the end game stuff. Alright. Enter the Greenway. We're still waiting on that one. Expose Yannick. If Sabina's right, you gotta get... Okay, so yeah, that's what it is. What it is. I don't know where we get Matsutake caps. I'm guessing it has something to do with all this growth over here. So I think these three, Enter the Greenway, Grow Mushrooms, and Get to Know Memphis, could be tied together. Alright. Well... What was the commune? What can we give her? Is it just growth spores? Hypha Dorm, Hypha Labs. Yes, she just needs some spores. Let's do a quick look. I forgot if Yannick's thing pays, that could be pretty good because we do need a source of money right now. It seems like we're doing pretty good on everything else. Yannick's ward. It's just Yannick's trust. Alright, we can't re-roll. Let's do this. Let's bump our engage up to 3. Oh, you need 3 points. Holy crap. Alright. Alright, so we can't do that just yet. Alright, we're not gonna do that then. Let's just, I can't... Let's cross back over. Can we get Griol? Or can we get those spores? Safely? It's risky. Okay, yeah, we can do that. We just lose a little bit of energy if we screw up. Nice. Alright. We'll drop off these spores with one of our new friends this episode. Alright, and that's the spore study. Very, very good. Alright. Let's go ahead and rest up at our favorite current home. And I think that's what we're going to call it. This has been an incredibly satisfying episode in terms of accomplishments. Oh man, look, we're starting hard. 3 6s, a 5, and a 3. It's a nice way to come back to it. Yeah, we got so much done. We got rid of Ethan. We got pretty deep on the Yodigan side of things. We found the communist Haifa mushroom people. We got the aviary a bit going. We now have a kitchen. I guess we could also bring caps. We can also bring stuff back there. Yeah, whatever. I'm not doing that with the Matsutake caps. We need to figure out how to do that. Maybe we'll do that towards when we have less stuff going on. But yeah, just a whole bunch of accomplishments in this episode. A whole bunch of new stuff. Really getting deep into this. I think feels like that we're starting to thin out our current threads. But that'll be for the next time we do a little bit of exploring on Arlen's Eye. As always, if you enjoyed today's content, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, all that fun stuff, the video helps the algorithm, and I appreciate it a great deal as well. Until next time, y'all, it's been a little bit of Citizen Sleeper. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then.